Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Doom series, and in this video we are going to work on the rendering of portal walls. Alright, so we'll begin by refactoring some of our engine code. So I'm going to open up engine.c, and in here we are going to refactor this part of the code into a separate function. So we are going to go here and we'll create a function which will return a matrix 4 called model from vertices. Basically, given 4 vertices representing a wall, it will generate an appropriate model matrix for our quad. And now we are going to go down here and just generate the implementation here. Currently of course it's empty. I'm gonna go here and basically copy all of this and go down here, paste this here. And in here the things we'll change is that we'll change the start and end variables to p1 and p0 respectively. For the height we'll use p3 actually, and remember we'll use p3 dot y minus p0 dot y, and remember that now we are taking in vector 3s, and for the translation of this we actually just translate it to p0 instead of having anything else. So we'll translate it to that, and instead of just setting the nodes model matrix, we are going to return with this value that we have calculated. And now let's go up here and we are going to go ahead and generate these 4 points that represent our wall. These are going to be of course vector 3s, and we'll begin by start.x and then followed by the sector's floor, and let's do the floor first and the ceiling afterwards, and then we are going to do the other ones quite similarly, except that this time we are going to change this start.x to end.x and start.y to end.y here as well, and then we are going to change the sector floor in the last one to sector ceiling. So we're going to just go ahead and change that to ceiling. And you might notice that I'm not using the floor and ceiling variables that we calculated. You'll understand the reason behind that in a second. And when we are calculating this, we just use model from vertices like that. And we are going to remove all this part of the code as well, because the scaling will be handled by the other part of our code, the actual function. And we are going to just calculate this, get the side def here separately to kind of make our code a bit more readable. And yeah, that looks a lot better. So now we are going to go down in here and we are going to basically scale all of the vector 3s down by the inverse of the scale value that we have got, and we'll just do it for each of the points. So p0 to and p1, p2 and p3, we'll do it for all 4 of them. Okay, so now we are going to change this to z, by the way, instead of y, because we are in 3D coordinates now, and you can see that we get exactly the same result as before, except that now we are using a refactor function that we can then use for other walls as well. So now let's work on portal walls. Now for portal walls we'll need 2 walls. We'll actually need to create like 2 different wall nodes, one for the wall that connects our ceiling to the other sector's ceiling, and one that connects the other sector's floor to this sector's floor. So basically we'll need to have 2 walls connecting the front and back sector. So we'll need to get both of those here separately. So we'll first of all get the front sector, and then we'll get the back sector as well. So we'll copy and paste this, and we'll change this to be back sector and back side def, and we'll access it like that. And now for these points, we are going to have 2 sets of points. One is going to be floor 0 to floor 3, and one is going to be ceiling 0 to ceiling 3. So we are going to rename this to floor 0, and then we are going to rename this to floor 1, and this to floor 2, and this to floor 3, like that. And this we are going to change this to all of them to use floor here instead of ceiling, and this actually needs to be floor, not flu or that. And now we are going to change this to have front sector. The first 2 are going to be the front sector ones, and the last 2 are going to be the back sector ones. And for the ceiling we'll do something very similar. We'll just copy this floor code and this node one as well. Let's rename this node to floor node to kind of have it will be kind of more understandable. So this is going to be floor node, and we'll also create a ceiling node. So now for the second one we are going to rename this to ceiling node, and we are going to change all of these to ceiling node as well. And here we are using floor 2, 1 and 3, all of those. We are going to change that to ceiling instead of floor, and then we are going to go here and we are going to change this to ceiling node as well. And when setting the wall node, we are going to make sure to set the wall node pointer to the ceiling node instead of the floor one. And we'll change our model from vertices call, we'll change it to use ceiling the ceiling points instead of the floor ones. And of course we are going to have to go up here and we'll need to change this to back side def when we are getting the back sector. And another thing is that we actually need to change the ceiling ones here to ceiling instead of just floor to actually get the ceiling rendered. So we'll change these here like that, and if I go ahead and run this, you can see that we now get all of the structures here. Well, you can make out the windows here, the portal wall are working, you can make out the stairs, and you can make out some other structures as well. This is the window in the first part. Of course currently we lack floors and ceilings, which kind of makes it a bit hard to figure out what everything is, but you can see the basic shape of the map is working quite correctly. Alright, so there's one more thing I'd like to add before we wrap this video up. So for that we are going to open up what.c and we are going to add lighting. So in Doom, each sector has an associated light level and that represents actually even light of all of the walls and floors and ceiling, everything in the sector. And this light level is a 16-bit integer located at offset 20 in the sector data. However, it's generally not greater than 255, so we can assume 255 to be the maximum value. Anyways, we are going to load this here, and inside of engine.c we are going to modify our get random color function a bit, and we are going to modify it so that we normalize the returned color, and in this way only the hue of the color will be modified, and as you can see all of the colors are now equally bright, which means that we can apply the lighting to them and it should look right. And now we can go ahead and inside of our engine render function we can just scale the color that we get by the lighting value. So we are going to just get the node, get the sector of the node, and then get the light level divided by 255. And now let's run make, and you can see that it's quite awesome, and you can see that we get all of the some parts are dark while some are bright. This outer area is particularly bright and this other area is dark, so that means that this is working, and we have got the light levels completely functional. Anyways guys, this is gonna be pretty much it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, in which we are going to focus on the sector floors and ceilings parts of our engine, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe as well so you don't miss the next one, and share it with other people, and bye.